Hey there, Boom Racing fans. Come be an RC badass with us. All right, so what do we have for you? Well, we have this thing. This is a Boom Racing BRX02 Series 388 pickup. I know it's a mouthful, but with a quality truck like this, it deserves a long name. Let's get started. Let's get this thing unboxed. All right, so the first thing you're gonna notice is really cool packaging and weight. It is a heavy box. And to me, heavy means quality. So I'm gonna open this up, and the first thing you're gonna see there is the new old. Really cool little saying there. First thing in the box, at the top of the box, is the body kit. And what's that say right there? Mystery gift. Mystery gift. Let's see what that's about. All right, so we're just gonna touch on this for a second because this video is just gonna be kind of an unboxing and kind of going through the tools you're gonna need and prepare you to start building this thing. We're gonna do a fun series. Nobody likes a dry build series where it's page by page, screw by screw. We're not doing that. We're gonna do it different. So let's figure out what this mystery gift is. So you open up, look, another saying. This is the body box. Every Land Rover has its own unique story to tell. What's yours? Really cool. And right in the front here, there's the mystery gift. And I'm not gonna open it up yet. We're gonna open this up when we do the body, but it says Lucky Dogs on it. So any of you Boom Racing fans, you know what this is. And then you have all the body parts, nice and neatly packaged. And you have the wonderful instruction booklet. We're not gonna get into this one yet because we have to build the chassis first. So we are gonna take this, set this aside. Let's move on. All right, now we have the chassis left in the box. So once you take the body box out, next thing you're gonna see is your instruction manual. So both the body and the chassis have a separate instruction manual. We're gonna open this up in a second. I just wanna show this off and how wonderfully everything is packaged in this thing. It's gonna be very easy to build, I think. It's very organized. So now we're gonna close this up and get into the instruction booklet and get our tools prepared that we're gonna need to complete this build. So we have the instruction booklet here, BRX02 1/10 4-wheel drive radio control chassis kit for Series Land Rover 88. And I'll tell you what, you open this up, you get your sticker pack right out of the gate. We'll go over that as we complete the truck. And then you get right into the tools you need. So let's do this page first, and then we'll move on to the next few pages before we get into the build series. All right, reading in front of me here, it looks like we're gonna need a 1.5. So I'm gonna reach into my tools here, and I'm gonna be using MIP tools. Whatever tools you choose are just fine. This is what I have in the shop. So I use a mixture of Power Hobby and MIP primarily. We do have other brands, but this is what I'm gonna be using. It says you need a 2.0. So I have my 1.5, my 2.0, right? You're gonna need scissors. So I have my scissors, a hobby knife. Oh boy, where'd that go? Hobby knife. All right. A slot screwdriver. Always have one of these. And this one has adjustable tips, so I can change it out. The rest are stored in the cap, all different sizes, because I don't know what size we're gonna need. So that's there. And long nose pliers. Boom, got those right there. So that's it. Those are the tools I'm gonna need. So right there, I have all my tools laid out. Now, let's talk about what I'm working on top of. I choose to work on CowRC products. As we build the chassis, I'm gonna be using CowRC products to build the chassis. That's my choice. I believe in the brand, and I think that it's gonna help me along the way. Having a magnetic surface and not losing my hardware in the middle of a kit build, exactly what I want. So let's move on to the next pages of the booklet. We have our chassis ready in the box. We have all our tools set aside that the book says we're gonna need. let's see what's in the rest of the book. Let's go over the rest of this book. All right, so we went over the tools needed. Also, at the top of this page, I forgot something very important. Your equipment needed to finish the truck, stuff that's not included in this builder's kit. And this is your pretty standard stuff. But if you're new to RC and you just got a BRX02, you might need to know this, right? It's good to know. 3-channel radio. Doesn't mean you can't use more channels, but a minimum of a 3-channel radio. Battery, charger, ESC, steering servo, and a 540 or 550 motor. So that's what you're gonna need to complete this after you complete your builder's kit. And then after that, there are multiple pages of all the parts that are included in that chassis box. Stay up page. Just like, we'll pick the receiver box, for example. It says receiver box lid ×1. So it lets you know how much of everything is in the box. So what I like to do is go through, make sure I'm not missing anything, specifically hardware. So if I'm missing one 8mm long bolt or screw, I can go make sure I replace it. And that way I know I have all the correct amounts and it's all laid out properly before I start the build, because there's nothing worse than getting to a part in the directions going, I'm missing something. So I like to do that right off the bat before I start the build process. And then on page 13, you start your build. Lucky 13 starts your build. And this is where you start mounting things to the chassis rails. Something else that we were advised of, which is really cool, is all your screws up here. It tells you what hardware you're gonna need on the page that you're working on. And all those screws are the correct size for what you're working on. So if you hold up a screw to that picture, it's gonna be the same length and the right length that you need. So really, really cool. Can't wait to get started on this build. A huge shout out to Boom Racing for allowing us to do this, and a huge shout out to Matt Maynard. Man, that guy is just a solid dude, and really put a lot of faith in us to sit and do this. So I'm excited to do it. This is our first Boom build, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to have something that looks like that built. Possibly a little cooler. Who knows? I don't know which direction I'm going with this. What color should I paint it? Leave it in the comments. What color should it be? Because I don't have a color picked out yet. I didn't buy paint yet. I semi have electronics figured out on what I'm gonna put in it and what I'm gonna have enough room for, and we're gonna go over that as we build it. I'm actually gonna get a couple sets of electronics to situate and see where we could put things. And that way it helps you guys out too when you're trying to pick out motors and ESCs and what fits and what you might have a hard time with. So being this is our first build, we're gonna learn together, and we're gonna go through this together, and any tips and tricks that I learn along the way, I'm gonna share with you. All right, so we will see you on the next episode where we start on page 13, Lucky 13, and we start this build. Have a great day, everybody.